Greetings and welcome to Jefficho Films. This 1998 horror action movie is directed by Stephen Sommers, who did The Mummy and one of my personal favorites, Odd Thomas. It's also starring Famke, Janssen, and Treat Williams, who is a treat in this, I tell you that. So let's review Deep Rising. This movie starts out hitting us with some facts, which makes you think that it could be a true story, and we get a POV shot far below the China Sea as this thing is just swimming around underwater, making a lot of noise. Treat Williams, who plays John Finnegan, has a really sweet boat, and he has a crew of Joey and Leila, and they've got a bunch of mercs on the boat that have paid him to take them to this giant cruise ship. It has a dragon sail, it's very Chinese, and they're playing old American music inside and gambling. It's the maiden voyage of the Argonautica. Famke is on the boat and she is a beautiful thief, and she steals the captain's wallet and breaks into a vault and gets to some safety deposit boxes, but then the captain and the first mate find her and they lock her up in the food storage room. She hears some noises on the outside of the ship though. Joey starts snooping around the merc's cargo and he sees that they have a bunch of torpedo warheads, and they find him and they beat the shit out of him. Leila starts guilting Finnegan to go help him, and eventually he does, and he handles the situation quite well.
We got a contract. 20 hours out and back. You beat my engine man to death, it's gonna take a hell of a lot longer. Which is okay by me, since overtime will run you double rate.
Someone replaces a few discs, which just turns everything offline, and the radar shows something rising from below and just rocks the ship, and some girl runs into the washroom to hide, and something in the toilet kills her. Finnegan plows over an empty lifeboat, which does a little damage to the ship, but the mercs decide this is the time to take over the ship, and they get to the cruise ship and realize they've got a plan, they know what's going on, but they don't understand why it's not moving. And they get aboard and they want to take hostages, but there's blood everywhere and it's fairly deserted. The mercs want to hit the vault and the elevator's working, but there's no one on it, and we get a Star Wars line.
I got a really bad feeling about this.
Grand atrium level. Please watch your step.
The mercs split up and check out the ship. Down in engineering, Trevor Goddard, who's playing T-Ray, but he'll always be Kano to me, and he's pretty much the same character as Kano in everything I've seen him in.
I don't like you. You don't even know me.
He's down there checking out some noises, and it's pretty flooded down there. It's about waist high. He goes and investigates, and he disappears and dies. Famke wakes up and we hear there's something inside the plumbing, so she escapes out of there and she heads to the vault too, where she runs into the ship's owner, who actually axed one of the mercenaries because he was so scared, and they're actually working for him, so it was kind of awkward.
That's beef assistance.
So again, tell me what happened here. Where is everybody?
I thought you liked to blow things up.
I do.
The vault is now open.
Yes. Money, 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 money.
In engineering, the other merc that's still alive is pretty stupid and gets himself killed, and it's funny that they hear screams and gunfire because they're the only two that were wearing the headsets, but they're already dead. The mercs take Finnegan and Famke into the elevator, and the captain says the ship is infested. Finnegan's trying to make friends with Famke, and why wouldn't you? It becomes a bumpy ride, and we get a girl from Ipanema joke.
You killed him, didn't you?
You killed him, didn't you? Did you?
I heard you the first time.
What the hell is that? Girl from Ipanema.
The elevator falls and it crashes, and they all roll out and survive. There's a bunch of melted skeletons down there, and they won't give Finnegan a gun, but then the walls start bending like butter, and so they decide to give him a gun. There's some good corpse work down there though. The owner explains how the ship was stopped. All the systems were just melted down to the core, and the ship's worth $487.6 million, and they plan to loot it and then sink it and collect on the insurance. That was the original plan. And we get to see this giant octopus creature, and it just spits out one of these guys, and the makeup effects is great on it. And we see that it basically dissolves the people when it's inside of it. That's how it devours them. The captain pretty much dies, and Famke and Finny find time to flirt. She also finds some clothes and, puts that on and sneaks a gun as well.
Hey, break this up!
What?
I like it.
Thanks.
The owner thinks that these creatures were related to other creatures, and that they actually just live deeper and that's why they're bigger, and that they've been known to feed on sharks. I call bullshit that he even knows any of this. Finnegan and them wander the ship trying to get back to their boat with the parts to fix his boat, and sometimes they have to swim through parts of it, which builds great suspense. The special effects are serviceable, good enough for storytelling, but they are late 90s. Another merc is killed, and you can hear his screams pretty good underwater. There's some group conflict. Some want to make a stand and some want to make a run for it, so Finney tells them a story.
And the octopus, he felt his way all around that bottom. And in less than 2 minutes, he got the cork off, slid inside, and ate the fish.
The guy who didn't want to leave has one of those "it's behind me" moments, isn't it? But then he gets cocky and he dies. The monsters are starting to close and lock doors, and they're forcing them into the bows of the ship, so it's an intelligent creature. We get one of those chased by a bear moments where two guys are running from it, and they shoot the other guy in the leg so that he can't make it to slow the creature down. I'm not sure it's gonna work. Also, the rich guy sees that there's actually an island off in the distance during this heavily rain machine storm. It's great. Famke makes fun of Finnegan's boat, that's what you came in? You're braver than I thought. And also the head merc guy's being slowly devoured by the creature, so we get a comedy moment where he's just he gives him a gun so that the guy can kill himself.
Don't say I never gave you nothing.
Karma's a bitch because now he's out of bullets. They're pretty screwed at this point, so they need a new plan, and they see the Sea-Doos, and they also want to get to the boat, and they want to actually get it fixed enough so that they can get it to ram back into the ship with the torpedoes armed and blow it all up. But Leila's gone, they can't find her. She was pretty much devoured at some point. Famke finds the Sea-Doo keys, and the rich guy decides to threaten her with a gun. I might point out that there's 3 Sea-Doos and 3 keys, guys. Well, she gets chased deeper into the boat. Finnegan races through the flooded corridors on the Sea-Doo and manages to rescue her, but the big monster's right there and it grabs him. We do get an amazing one-liner from him though as he escapes.
What are you looking at?
Back on the boat, we see the windows broken, and Joey was working on the boat and the plan, and so he might be dead. The owner jumps down on Finney's boat and breaks his leg. Finnegan and Famke are trying to build up speed, but the monster's totally aware of that and just keeps getting in their way and chasing them back throughout the boat. The owner realizes that the ship is on a trajectory to head back into the cruise ship. And when the torpedo explodes, Finnegan and Famke manage to jump straight out of the boat and avoid the explosion. It's pretty epic looking. They get to the shore and realize the Sea-Doo's engines shot to shit, so they kiss. And then Joey shows up on a surfboard somehow and just swims there, and they all just relax on the beach.
I guess we're stuck on this island.
Better than a cold beer, huh?
Until the hedges start to move on the island, and we hear this giant roar because they're not even safe on land.
This looks like a nice enough place.
Famke almost didn't get the part in the movie because the producers felt she was too recognizable as a star. Yeah, that's a reason to do it. Harrison Ford was almost cast as John Finnegan but bowed out, and it went to Treat Williams. And then all the money that was supposed to go into this actually got downsized too. The movie had a $45 million budget, and it only made $11 million in America, so this was a pretty big bomb. But Treat Williams has never been better. He was just this kick-ass adventurer guy. I gotta say, for a movie that's not a great movie, it was a lot of fun to watch.
Trust me, lady, it ain't any better out there.
I'm out of here.
Will you relax?
The door is closing.
Who the hell are you?
Who the hell are you?
I think she broke my nose.
You give me a chance to break the rest of your face. Not that anyone would notice.
What is this about?
It might be considered a bit of an Alien knockoff, but there was so much more humor in this, and it was a lot of fun just running around the ship. The acting was great, the casting was done really well, and the special effects were really neat. Even the makeup effects were done pretty awesome. And it had such a tightly written script, there was just no time for you to be bored during it, which is commendable. So I'd recommend, if you haven't seen this, check it out. I'm not saying this is a great movie, but I'm saying this is a good, bad movie. As always, thanks for watching.